Hey guys, and welcome back to the cafe. So today we're going over week number 8 blue of the 100 Days of Collage challenge. So here's the very first one I did in the blue, and these skeleton leaves, I've got 3 of them here. I've got a really nice cream colored one here, this brown one down here, and then this beautiful pale blue skeleton leaf in the middle. Now I used on this a couple of different things. I've got this little tube of mica, and this is by Finnabar. And this is what it looks like. It's just really nice, dark little chunks of mica. And I got this at Michael's. And I'm not sure, I got it a really long time ago, and I'm not sure if they still carry this stuff, but you could look online under the Finnabar products and probably find it, or just look up mica, and I'm sure there's something available. Now, the other thing I love to use is this gold flex here. This is Recollections product. That's the company, the brand name, and it says here chunky glitter. Now I don't like regular glitter because it just, you never get rid of it. It gets everywhere, you never get rid of it, but I love this stuff because it's so much easier to work with. It's not all over the place. You don't have it all over everything you do 6 months down the road after you use it. It's a much more controllable type of product, and I also think that it's a much more elegant looking kind of, I just hate to call it glitter, I call it gold flecks. So that's the other thing that I've used throughout this challenge, and here it is right here, and I love to bling up my stuff with that. Now I put the dark bits of mica on this half of this light blue leaf, and I did not like the look of it at all. It was driving me nuts. So I went ahead and covered over this, and I can't remember, I do show in the video what I used. I either used white paint or white gesso. I'm really leaning towards white gesso, and I went ahead and covered this half of the leaf, and I like the way this came out. The mica is still showing through a little bit, but it's not these big chunks of dark stuff on this light leaf. And then this leaf here was really dark too, and it was kind of bugging me too. I think it was taking away from the focal point, so I went ahead and went over that as well. Now here is this mica down here on the bottom, and I think this little strip of it really came out beautiful, and I did also add some of that chunky gold flecks down here as well. Now this paper here, this chunk of paper and this chunk of paper are both scraps of wallpaper, sample paper, and guys, I have a ton of it. I'm getting ready to put some bundles together because I have more than I could ever use. So if you're interested in that, be on the lookout. I will let you know when I have those ready here on my channel. So if you're not subscribed yet, click that subscribe button. Got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Now these pieces of paper here are scrapbook paper that I spattered and stamped a very long time ago. Now this chunk of beautiful paper here, I used this way back in week 1. I found it in my stash. I had made this paper a very long time ago, probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. It's been a long time. This is alcohol inked vellum paper, and I just pounced on the vellum paper with my alcohol ink tool, my Tim Holtz tool, and I just went all over the paper and got this beautiful translucent paper. So if you want to make some of that, very easy to do. So there's the first one, and this one is number 50 of 100. Woohoo! I got 50 done, and so far to go still. So now this one right here is number 51 of 100. Oh, and I inked this one with, I edged it with some ink, and the video for that one shows which exact ink I used. So now this one is really fun. It's got this dark blue handmade paper in the back that I got at Guyry's, and it's got all these beautiful broken leaf chunks in it, and that's the background paper. And then this chunk of this lighter blue gray, and these chunks here are wallpaper scrap sample paper here. And then of course this is this handmade paper, just a strip of it here, and it did tear on me as I was attaching it. It shows in the video what happened there. And then I've got some, these are from my Hibiscus Fields Eco Die kit, and I love these images. And the hibiscus is really wild because if you've ever seen hibiscus flowers, they're like this burgundy, deep burgundy purple color. Well, whenever I eco dye with them, they come out light blue. They come out light blue and dark blue both, but they come out very, very blue. It's really bizarre. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but they are so beautiful how they come out. So then I've got these really cute little Tim Holtz botanicals, and I'll show you here. I've got a couple sets of these, and it's a pretty cool deal, I think. It's Sizzix Tim Holtz, and these are the thinlits, so they're the really thin little die packs, and you get 7 dies per little pack here. So I think this is a really good little bargain, and I had cut a bunch of these a really long time ago and came across them in my stash and went ahead and used some. Now I put this one behind the skeleton leaf, and I love the way that came out because of course the skeleton leaf is so see-through that you can see that botanical behind it and anything else you want to put behind it. So then I've got some more of the Recollections little gold flecks on this one as well. Really a fun week, this blue week here. Now here is number 52 of 100, and this one I really enjoyed doing. Again, these, I have quite a few flowers from my Hibiscus Fields kits, and I have those linked below for you if you want to go take a look. There's some really beautiful botanical images that came out, and I've got 2 kits of the Hibiscus Fields, so you can check that out very easily. Now I've got a little tiny half of a, well, it's not tiny, it's actually almost the whole length of this piece of a skeleton leaf here with some of the gold flecks on it, and another Tim Holtz botanical. And then this beautiful spiral paper back here is a chunk of scrap wallpaper sample paper, and same with this. And I really had fun with this because I just tore it in half and I went under and then over, and I just love to do that. I think it just adds to the artwork. It makes, you know, it brings interest for me for sure, and it's fun to play around and do things like that. And then these chunks of paper are just torn off of this piece here, and then this of course is another piece of this same wallpaper scrap paper. Oh, that is a mouthful. Wallpaper scrap paper. So now we have this little collage, and this is number 53 of 100. And again, this is another image from the Hibiscus Fields kits. And I did use this image in the sample photos, so very easy to find. And then this background paper again is wallpaper scrap paper. And I love to tear it and layer it on top of itself right where it would have gone, just to add some more interest and depth to the piece. And then this beautiful little woven piece of sample wallpaper paper is really fun too. It's got all this nice like white stitching through it. I think it's a really cool little chunk, and there's not a whole lot of it, but it adds just enough to this piece for me. And then I've got some beautiful cream colored cheesecloth here that I laid down along with the gold flecks, and then another piece of wallpaper paper back here. And then this here is a little fence die cut that I have. This is a Spellbinders, this little wrought iron fence piece, and I love these. I cut a bunch of these a long time ago. This is one of my hardest die cuts to use because of all the detail. It's a real pain to get this out. You've literally got to have the brush tool in order to do this. At least I do. So that's where I got that from. And then I went ahead and put some more gold flecks in this piece as well. Really fun. Oh my gosh. Now this piece is totally different from the rest of this little week here, and it's amazing. So this one's 54 of 100, and here's my stitching up here. Now I used a little bit too thick. I used black artificial sinew to stitch this blue feather onto this piece, and this is just a little bit too thick for paper. You want to use some thread, or, you know, thread can even be too thin. I would double up the thread, but if you use some thicker embroidery floss, that would have been best for this project. So it came out fine. I like it well enough, but I would have used something thinner had I had the chance to go back. You know what I'm saying? So now we've got this beautiful extra large skeleton leaf on this one, and I just did a little row of the gold flecks here and here on this, and then of course I added another piece of this beautiful background paper for my tape to tape down the skeleton leaf. Now this background paper, it's this hand painted marbled paper, and I got this at Kory's as well. So such a beautiful paper, and Kory's is G-U-I-R-Y''S. They do have their website, Kory's.com. I am not sure if they sell the paper online or not. They're local for me, so I've never had to look online, and I just haven't done it. So you can check and see if they have that available. You know, otherwise there's just, I don't know where else you could find this. It's, you know, I'm always just looking for the most interesting papers that I can get my hands on. And so we all kind of have to do the same thing. You know how it is. So now we've got 55 of 100. And this is another image from the Hibiscus fields. And I love how grungy these images are. And then they've got the light blue along with the grungy brown, all woven together in that kit. I really like how those came out. Both kits came out that way. So I just tore this in half and separated it out. And then these back here are wallpaper scraps. This is all wallpaper scrap on this piece. And then of course some cheesecloth and another skeleton leaf, just full of bling on this one too. Now another thing I did on this was I tore a chunk out of this little wallpaper scrap and then tore it back further and inked the edge so that you can really see it. And I love the look of this, and I want to do a lot more of that. Now when you're using wallpaper samples, of course, a lot of them are vinyl and they're designed to be cleaned. And I've probably said that before, but I definitely want to say it again just to let you know, you really want to be using an archival permanent ink. Now you can use paint as well. Paint, it will take the paint too. But if you use distress oxides or inks or anything like that, it will rub off over time. So you just want to make sure if you're using inks for your tears or anything like that, that you're using something permanent. Now here's the last one for this week, and yet another beautiful flower image from the Hibiscus Fields kit. And it really does print dark blue, the hibiscus. Here's some chunks of it, and they look like little ice chunks, which I thought was really unique and interesting as well. And then I've got the Tim Holtz Botanicals and the little Spellbinders fencing on this one, and a couple more little leaf sprigs. And then here is that Guy Rees handmade paper in the back. And then these are all wallpaper scraps for the rest of that. So that is the week of blue, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all these, and I hope that you're creating some of these. This has really been a blast for me. It's been a huge undertaking, but I am so glad I've done it. So until the next week, which is indigo, I will see you very soon, and happy collaging to you, and hit the subscribe and hit the like, and I'll see you the next time around.